Hi everyone, this is Dale from IGN Southeast Asia, and today we're at Double 11 with our very special guest, Jeff Mahadi, lead concept artist.
Hi.
Nice.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
It's great to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
So yeah, let's take a look at your history of your gaming career and what you do here in Double 11.
Yeah. I'm basically the lead concept artist here in Double 11. So my responsibilities essentially involves managing our wonderfully talented concept art team. I manage them and I support them basically, providing resources that they need to actually do their best to come up with the best art that we have here in Double 11 for all our partners, our big IPs here in Double 11. Yeah. So, well, my history of game development, I started out all the way back in 2007. Yeah, I've been working since then. Been doing mostly PC games. I did a couple of consoles as well.
Nice.
Started off with the PS2, all the way up to the PS4. Worked a little bit on the Xbox as well. A couple of Wii games as well, and Nintendo DS.
Cool.
Yeah, so yeah, I go way back. Those were the good old days, I suppose. But yeah, and here I am in Double 11. I mean, this is where we get to work on really modern games right now.
Yeah.
Modern console games, PS5, and the Xbox Series X and S. And yeah, work on Rust, work on Minecraft Dungeons, and Fallout 76.
Nice.
Yeah.
Had quite the journey since then, huh?
Yeah, it's been a really long time.
So, why should video games be considered modern art, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I do think games are really incredible because if you compare video games to like other media, we're talking about like images, video, music, and I mean, they've gone all the way. Visual arts have gone all the way back then, and all the way now. You look at it, it's usually a one-way interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now with video games, you are adding this, this level of interaction between the players and that content itself, and the players themselves could actually like change the outcomes of whatever they're interacting with in that video game. They basically interact. They're immersed in these worlds. Yeah. They're basically like having loads of fun essentially, like going out. I mean, you can play either single player or multiplayer. All those experiences will encompasses very different situations. So unlike movies and music, it's a one-way interaction. You consume it, but the consumption here is different when it comes to video games because you bring the players in and the players will bring in their form of creativity as well.
Yeah.
Our games like Rust and Minecraft. What's really incredible is that we provide, we create the worlds, we create the characters. We also create tools for players to actually use to interact with. In Rust, players can just go in and basically build bases. It's an online multiplayer game, and you come across with other players. You start off from scratch and build all your way up to these incredible bases. You go ahead and interact with them. You start, battling each other, trying to survive in Rust. And in Minecraft, we give them lots of tools to go and mine certain materials, and then they start building insane things. They build monuments, they build buildings and structures, some of them even from the real world, and you just put them in virtually in video games. It's incredible what people could do just by giving them the tools alone just to build these worlds. And that in of itself is artistry.
Yeah.
Artistry in the sense that, we don't just build the game, but we let the players build them as well, which is, I consider it personally as modern art. I mean, compared to everything else, there's nothing like it. There really isn't.
To add to that, would you say video games are the most collaborative and interdisciplinary art form there is right now?
Oh, definitely yes. I mean, sure, you can make video games by yourself. That's possible. As a matter of fact, there are a couple of games that are done by a one-man show. But if you look at it, you realize that they've actually required resources and help from other people as well.
Yeah.
So regardless, if you think back about it, it's not really a one-man show. You really do need like a collaborative effort between like not just you, the artist, but you need help from coders, you need help from musicians, you need help from designers and other form of artists as well. So it's a collaborative effort, yes. They work together. They're all from different disciplines, but we we at Double 11 here especially, we believe in the mantra of actually working together as a team, working closely, and we value communication. That's why we're all here, right here in this studio, right? We're here to basically like get together. We discuss about ideas about, regarding these big IPs especially. So when it comes to games like Fallout 76, Rust, and Minecraft, we want to actually make sure we deliver on player expectations. So we work really closely together to make sure that whatever product or final product we come up meet those players' expectations, and who knows, maybe even surpass them.
So as lead concept artist, what kind of artistic challenges do you and your team face?
Here in Double 11, we do a lot of like porting, essentially. So one of the biggest challenges that we do face is technical. So sure, the artistic level that we have, we do consider the aesthetics. We grab like whatever's established out there with Fallout 76, with Rust and Minecraft. They have unique art styles in and of themselves, right? They differ from each other so variantly. But we also do releases on multiple consoles as well. So we need this. So the challenge essentially that we face is trying to figure out how we can fit a AAA title game like Fallout 76 into like the consoles essentially, because they run really well on PCs. But when you fit them on consoles, obviously we need to actually unify that experience to make sure everybody enjoys a very, very seamless and unified experience essentially. That being said, the challenge for aesthetics is essentially trying to balance with the technical limitations. Is basically the biggest challenge that we have here especially. But of course, there are other challenges as well. I mean, some of them doesn't involving art specifically. There is the challenge of basically having these varied styles as well. So like Fallout 76, you have a post-apocalyptic world that's set in kind of like the 50s kind of thing, and then you got Rust that's also post-apocalyptic, but it's kind of more a little bit modern. Then you have Minecraft that's totally blocky, voxel kind of look and feel. So we try our best to maintain closely with that style specifically to deliver upon that. We do have the artists that are talented that we bring into Double 11 who specialize in those particular styles, and we make sure that they they're well briefed and they can deliver on the art.
Right. So when it comes to the bigger franchises or IPs that Double 11 works on, how do you guys make sure that the aesthetics of the game is maintained, and how do you guys kind of learn those aesthetics artistically?
So what's interesting is that we work really closely with our partners. So despite the fact that we're here in KL, we communicate very closely with Double 11 UK. We really want to deliver it on the players' expectations specifically. If you look at Minecraft, players definitely have a very clear idea of what Minecraft is. It's blocky, the colors are bright, and there's a specific experience that goes into it. Minecraft Dungeons, especially when you actually, you have the experience of, dungeon crawling and going together and follow your, you explore down deeper levels in the dungeon. And what's interesting is that because there's a lot of resources, they're established IPs, so there's a lot of resources of it out there. And not just within internally in the company, but you can find a lot of it outside as well, on the internet especially. So we gather those resources, we make sure we try and deliver it on the players' expectations. So if it's Minecraft, it's gotta be that exact Minecraft look. You gotta make sure Steve looks like Steve, Alex looks like Alex, and you gotta make sure all the characters, the villagers, the illagers, all that. Same thing as well when we work together closely with our partners with Bethesda, with Fallout 76, and personally in Fallout 76 and Rust, it's something that we do look at it like really closely, because they're a little bit more towards the AAA space and a little bit more detailed, and the way we approach it is we make sure that not only do we use the resources externally, but the internal ones as well, that we work together with our partners. We make sure the QC is actually there. We constantly communicate, not just between the artists as well. We talk, we make sure that we talk with the QAs, the designers especially, and also the coders. It's like a two-way path basically. It goes from start to beginning, reach to the QA, and the QA will come back to us. It's a loop, that feedback that we go back.
Cycle.
It's a cycle that goes back constantly. We develop a particular content, like a weapon or a prop or whatever. It goes along the lines constant feedback from every one of us, especially in Rust.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it goes along that line, gets the QA, comes back, then we go in and iterate and make sure we deliver in on that particular quality as well. Yeah. And obviously we check close in on FacePunch, we check close in on Bethesda as well.
Yeah.
Make sure they think it's great as well. And we deliver in, especially on the players' expectations, because they know what the players' expectations are.
Right.
So we are trying to not just deliver on it. And we do know that there is a community out there. Rust especially has a community. And we're very well aware of what players are talking about. We're very well aware. We have a community manager that looks after it. They give us feedback. And we go like, oh, players want this and this and this, and we hear them. But at the same time, we're trying to surpass them as well. We're trying to figure out ways that we can surprise the players. Not just for Rust. We've also done the same thing as well for Fallout 76. For all the plans that we have, players have certain ideas. Like if you look at Fallout 76 recent update, which is basically the Nuka World Tour. Yeah, if you check out that one, it's really amazing. I mean, we were there for that development, and what was really cool about it was my artists specifically, they came up with some insane ideas in that entire world using the Nuka-Cola symbol as well.
In-game branding.
In-game branding, yeah. They built the world in this particular area in the world of Fallout 76 that nobody goes to, and then they just bump it up. It's a circus fair kind of thing, and then you see like, oh, you have like a rodeo kind of like Western thing going on in the corner there. I was so happy when they got out. The artists that worked on them was so great, and the concepts behind it. Yeah, we tried to actually surpass the players' expectations for that one.
All right, mission accomplished, no?
Yeah, I know.
All right, cool.
Right.
So, how would you explain to common person, somebody who doesn't play video games, on the artistry of it all?
How do I explain it? That's interesting. When you play a video game, what's interesting is that it's kind of like a movie in a way.
Yeah.
In a movie, it's an experience.
It's an experience.
It's an experience, right? But you don't just sit here like a bystander and just and things happen in front of you. No. You literally, not just grab a controller. It doesn't matter if it's a controller or it's on your phone or whatever. You actually go in, you interact, and the world somehow you become a part of that world. It's a form of escapism.
Yes.
If you think back about it. Like imagine if it's football, right?
Okay.
So if it's football, sure, you can watch it on TV, you can watch the EPL and all that kind of thing. But if you play a game, you can literally jump into it. You can play your favorite football star. I mean, whatever on fantasy football, come on. You literally can become the player.
Yeah.
You can literally, you weren't happy with the match between Manchester and Liverpool, or you can change it if you wanted to. Jump in and just change it, right? Or if you are a sports fan, like that's for sports, for football, if you are a racing fan, right? If you want to play F1, you can literally jump into a car, an F1 car, and literally race down the track. It's incredible. It's so visceral. It's so engaging in that sense that no other medium allows that. Like, I mean, movies, shows, they have their own version of that. Yeah, but it's usually you almost feel like there's a wall. That's why they always talk about the fourth wall and break that kind of thing, right? But no, not video games, man. Hell, I mean, you got VR now.
Yeah,
you can literally put this on your head and literally you're in that. It's incredible. Like the more I think about it, the more I realize this has to be some form of insane artistry that that's never been done before. I mean, and it's all been done like in the last 30 years. I don't think it's even 30 years or 50 years. Video games have been around since the 70s, right? So, yeah. So it's a very young industry, and we've come such a long way from mere pixels to ridiculous high def fidelity, and you could almost believe it's the real thing. So I'm grateful that we're here in this time. We're lucky.
I think the big artistry questions all done. So now we can just kick back and talk about you.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, sure.
So what was some of your favorite video games growing up?
Wow.
Like, what was the most impactful game for you?
Impactful game?
Yeah.
I grew up with so many games. I mean, well, like you could. I'll never forget the day my mom got me the NES,
Ooh.
So this was all the way back in the 90s, early 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 years old. She got me the NES. I played Super Mario Brothers on it. My life was forever changed. Like, it's incredible because you never knew that you could press a button and things start happening in front of you. Before that, you were just watching TV and you were like, okay, whatever. And suddenly you get to do stuff. You get to stomp on Goombas and hit blocks and mushrooms come out and you get bigger. And I'm like, wow, holy crap, Super Mario. I played A Link to the Past. A Link to the Past is incredible.
Yes.
Like that game forever, like changed my life when it comes to RPGs. It's my first action RPG.
Nice.
You get to open up puzzles and, fight these enemies with your sword. And save the princess is a common thing that you think about it. But then again, for me, it was novel at the time. It was something I've never experienced. And you want to go explore these dungeons kind of thing. And as the years go on, and then Final Fantasy VII, like I never thought you could have movies and games. I mean, I was watching movies before that and games came along and I never thought I'd see both of them married together in Final Fantasy VII. And then the emotions that you go through seeing Cloud, go through everything with this group in Avalanche and to fight Sephiroth, and it's insane. And then the later Final Fantasy games you can see, 8, 9. I played all of them mostly.
Nice.
yeah, Final Fantasy, and then there was Metal Gear.
Oh,
and
of course.
Jesus Christ! I mean, think about it, right? I mean, sure, that was story in some form of text-based RPG fantasy world. That's great too. And then came along Metal Gear Solid, and that's cinematic. Kojima just. I have no idea how to explain it. Like
right from the get-go, right?
From the get-go, sure. I mean, if you look back at Metal Gear Solid 1 right now, right?
Yeah.
The first game, you realize that it's blocky. Yeah, you got like low polygons. You got like pixels for eyes, kind of thing. Sure, whatever. But for me, it was revolutionary at the time. You hear the voice acting. David Hayter blew it out of the water. And I couldn't. I played that game for hours, man. Like
that's when it started, right? Like the blockbuster video game.
The blockbuster video game.
Yeah.
Everything just Nowadays everybody just skip the cutscenes. Kind of sad. It's really sad.
It is.
They just skip cutscenes now. But for me, it was something that I've never seen. I mean, you went from Mario to literally Metal Gear Solid in like what? Less than 10 years?
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is. The golden age.
The golden age. I grew up in Mega Man games.
Nice.
I grew up in Mega Man games, Street Fighter, everything Capcom. Yeah, Resident Evil, oh gosh. Resident Evil, I'll never forget that too. When the PlayStation came along, holy crap. You would think that it's a miracle machine. You're going from the NES to the Super NES to the PlayStation. Full 3D, yeah. And then the first game I saw was Resident Evil.
Wow.
I was terrified.
Yeah, it was very scary.
The dogs, the moment they... like you never would have thought like something like that. I mean, sure, it's pixel blood and everything, but to me it was like
as real as it could be.
It's years ahead of its time. Oh gosh, and I'm really grateful that the franchises have lasted this long. Resident Evil, Final Fantasy, Metal Gear. Well, I also grew up with Blizzard games as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, definitely. Overwatch, I'm playing it right now. I'm still playing it.
Yeah.
For some strange reason. But for Blizzard games, I grew up with Warcraft, StarCraft, Diablo. Yeah, there you go, Diablo. But yeah, those are some of my biggest influences, my favorite games of all time.
And cool. Did those games kind of inform your decision to be a concept artist?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they definitely. Specifically the style. If you look back at it, I mean, you've got a big range in of itself already. I mean, you have like basically the stylized stuff with Street Fighter, Mega Man. They're super bright, super colorful, and very actiony. You gotta love that. And when you look at the styles from like Final Fantasy, you have that polished Japanese kind of like really sleek look to it, and somewhat a mixed blend between realism / stylization going on. And then you go all the way, to like Resident Evil, where things start to get really gritty and really like yeah. But those are basically my favorite games.
All right, nice. Okay, so what advice would you give to up-and-coming video game developers or even kids who are dreaming about joining the game industry someday?
Dreaming of joining the game industry.
Yeah. What advice would you give to them?
So when I first started out working in video games, what what I really aspired to be is making all those games we talked about just
Yeah.
now. Like every kid wanted to, like, you know, I wanted to make Final Fantasy, I wanted to make, you know, Resident Evil, Mega Man, Metal Gear. You know, you're so excited. You really like. I want to push to that level of quality. I want to get that you know, visceral look of it. You know, you're excited, right? I mean, you go ahead, you learn, you gain knowledge, you practice day in and day out. You take any jobs that you possibly can to learn as much as you possibly can, and then when you start doing it yourself and you want to make your own game, right? You want to do it yourself. You tend to. I think my biggest advice when you first start out is to really start out small.
Okay.
I don't really encourage you to go. I mean, it's great that you could follow your dreams and you want to make all those big games that you like, but I think it's better to actually go back when, you know, keep it nice, like a smaller games. Like you look at a lot of indie games right now, they did really well because, you know, they managed the amount of resources they had, the amount of time, the amount of you know, resources that they go into it to actually build those games. It takes effort to actually learn the skills, to actually learn not just art but code. You learn design as well, and then you need to actually test the game over and over again. See, it's not like movies when all you have to do is just edit everything, watch it all together, and go like, oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, but games, you got to test them. You got to keep playing them over and over again, and if you're going to do all that with a very big game, like suddenly in your brain, you're like, I want to build Final Fantasy. Yeah. Oh, good luck doing that by yourself. So my advice is start small. Start small. Also, for artists specifically, since I am a concept artist, right?
Please.
For artists specifically, I do think it's really important to actually explore.
Okay.
Yeah. For people who start out in this business, it's better to actually explore their art. Don't try and, like, you know, fixate it over something. Yeah. Instead, try and explore, look around, try this style, try that style, try all kinds of styles. I mean, here at Double 11, we do welcome all artists from all kinds of styles who has that form of versatility that comes along with it. I mean, come on, we have Minecraft, we have Fallout 76.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like this wide spectrum, right? So I feel like it's great that artists do actually want to, like, do the things that they love and create them. But at the same time, don't let that stop you from actually trying out other things, because you'll never know that suddenly this clicks with you. A lot of artists these days, I do feel like they're a little bit reserved, you know, when it comes to their art. You know, they sometimes they're not sure what their art is. Okay. What is it they aspire to be? A lot of kids are like that. You know, I've interviewed quite a few, and I realized that it's really important that, you know, you actually be really, like, you share your art. It's really important that you made the art, right? You should be proud of it. You should go ahead and share it with everyone, and go ahead and let people know what your art's all about. You know, a lot of artists, they're pretty reserved. They sometimes they tend not to talk about it. But I encourage them to actually go out, share, gain feedback as much as you possibly can. Feedback's really important. Yeah. To be honest, if you can find constructive feedback, even better. Because you know, some people, it's the internet, right? I mean, everybody will happily throw you any kind of feedback, but it's up to you as an artist to actually know what works for you and how you can improve that. I mean, you got to sort out all that feedback as it comes in, and try not to take it personally. Never take it personally. Okay. Some are actually, it could feel a little bit, you know, some criticism could be a little bit too much, but take it as a learning experience. Take it in stride, right? Take it in stride. Take it in stride. And a lot of kids tend to take it a little bit too hard, but but I encourage to take it in stride, move forward, and, you know, learn from the experience. And that's what we do here in Double 11 a lot. Yeah. Like a lot of the communications that we hear, the feedback that we give to artists as well, we encourage them to, you know, okay, this could not work, but let's try this, or we tried that. And we'll try and move. The conversation moves around in such a way that, you know, we really want to actually get the best out of that situation in that particular art style. And that's why we have some of the best looking games with Fallout 76, with Minecraft especially, and Rust. We try our best to actually iterate as much as we possibly can to push for that quality, to meet players' expectations, to go beyond their expectations especially. And yeah, that's my advice.
All right, nice. Wow, that was great. Yeah, how you tie it all in together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I have no idea what I was doing.
All right. Thank you so much for this interview, Jeff.
Yeah,
I think
Dale, thank you so much.
you brought up some very important points. And yeah, for our audience back home, catch you next time. Bye.